do to win?
Eat a burger.
Eat a
and
burger.
Put it to rest.
Do it.
Now we know. Daddy's at the law firm until 8 hours, and Davey's watching XXX down in the fucking basement.
Get that out of my face. But you punch the burger?
I'm gonna throw it.
Did you go to therapy?
Yes.
Yeah, we changed it. We're back up.
Come on.
You got a lot of Bobby Knight in you. You got a lot of Bobby Knight in you. We've seen him 2 places. Good. All right, live from Dave & Buster's in Arizona, joined by Big Ev. This is Healthy Debate. Like I said, Dave & Buster's. Want to thank Dave & Buster's, brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Last year, there were 35 personal fouls in the championship game. So this year, we're going to foul, F-O-W-L, for foul, F-O-U-L. And with every foul, we're enjoying a chicken wing from Dave & Buster's. With all-you-can-eat chicken wings and a $10 power card starting at $22.99 every Monday and Thursday after 4 p.m. for the duration of the tournament, you can go foul for foul, too. Terms and conditions apply. And don't forget, throughout the tournament, washing away your sorrows with $2 beers and $5 shots. Price and participation may vary. Every Monday and Thursday throughout the tournament, Dave & Buster's is celebrating with all-you-can-eat wings and a $10 power card starting at $22.99. Terms and conditions apply. All right, so big stories of the day on and off the court in terms of basketball. Championship game tonight. Let's start there because I don't want Calipari stealing all the juice, although that might be the bigger story. In terms of tonight, what do you grade this championship game?
In terms of like all time for
Overall,
in terms of,
yeah, I mean,
what we
your
got from
life,
the season,
what,
or like
storylines, because then that's the next question all for the storylines.
it's definitely up there. I would say like a A minus.
Yeah,
B plus, A minus.
I
mean, it's realistically probably the 2 most consistent teams all year.
right. That's where I'm
Other
going.
than maybe Houston, the only other one you could say, but obviously had an injury in the Duke game. But
Yeah.
I mean, these have been the 2 best teams. The 2 mammoths in the middle, Edey and Klingon, are going to actually face off. Everyone's been saying all year, like, no one can guard Edey. He's been dominant. What's another player of the year? Klingon's the one guy that kind of match up with him physically. He's big guy, 7'2", great defender, obviously, great rim protector.
It is interesting in this day and age to have 2 7-footers. I know John Fanta was talking about it. Like in this day and age, like the 2 premier players are 7-footers tonight.
But even
It's a little bit of it's just a little bit of a throwback.
It is for sure, but it's true though, because it's like they're freaks.
Yeah.
Like we've seen a bunch where it's like, oh, like a guy who's like 2 like great big men face off, but they're like 6'10", which is fine. Like still be great
6'9",
NBA play 6'9" for sure. But I mean, I have 2 like legit, just like unicorn type guys. I mean, but it's crazy because even though on Yukon's side, like they're so deep
Agreed.
in terms of like Castle's probably the best NBA future player on the court, and he was unbelievable in the last game.
Do you think Edey's going to be effective in the NBA? I think he could give guys minutes. I mean, we saw Nurkic. We'll get to that story. But
the thing that I see that I feel like this year that he's not getting credit for, especially guys if you watch the last few years, he's so efficient now around the rim.
Yes.
Like the little hook, the floater, like he's good from
Great
the free throw.
footwork,
He's great from the
knows when
free
to
throw
catch the
line.
ball.
So he's not like some guy you can just like, oh, hack Edey, just put him on the line. What is he shooting? 70+%,
Yeah.
almost 80%, probably in the 70s, high 70s. So I mean, you can't just put him on the line. He makes everything. And you can't really block a shot unless you get him like going up, because he's got the ball up here. Like no, even Klingon, maybe he's the only guy that can probably
Right.
get a hand on like a ball when he's got it all the way up top.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say he'll find a role. I would think.
I think he's productive. I think he could give a team 10, 12 minutes, especially like defensive minded. And we saw a couple of guys, obviously, with the Suns getting like he's done a great job. He was undrafted last year, tested that process. He's put himself, I think, in the borderline first round now. It is a weak draft, but he's moved himself up.
It's like if a guy like Boban can carve out a role, like why can't he?
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
kind of how I see it.
Totally agree.
Like he's like a rich man's Taco Fall.
Yes.
He's bigger, stronger.
And he's
It's-
not a gimmick. He can
it's-
play.
It's just whether he can move well enough. He can get like up and down. But I mean, he does it here, and I feel like he will get better at that. So there's no reason to really doubt the way he's been able to just like improve year after year. Why wouldn't he be able to kind of keep it going and
Yeah.
at least be serviceable on a roster?
So I have one question big off of Yukon Purdue, but I do want to touch on Dave & Buster's in general. This is like a paradise in terms of where do we want to go watch a game? During quarter breaks in the NBA or halftime, like you're challenging the way we are, we're competitive. We might miss the games because we're on the
Yeah.
the hot shot trying to set the high score. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like if
this
you
is a
like
grown man's paradise.
if you like beer, cold beer, good food, like you said, games,
Competing with your
TVs,
friends.
There's every basketball game in here you can imagine. Like we're just playing the Jurassic Park game.
It's a throwback.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
It's a throwback to being like you could go back to being 12 years old while still being an adult.
That
a home
party
run.
was still in there.
Yes. Yeah.
Still
exactly.
in that big time.
All right. So the big one I have off of this tomorrow morning, what would be the bigger storyline? Because they'll both be top news. They'll both be front page news. Is it that Edie pulls the Virginia and goes from worst to first, or Hurley being back to back? Like, which one would you grade? They're both massive storylines. Which one is bigger in your eyes? Because both are very possible to happen. And I don't think that's that crazy of a thing. Like, it's not just, Purdue broke through. It's Purdue broke through after being literally laughed at. It's also Purdue getting the monkey off their back forever. It's potentially Yukon going back to back. Yukon being now true, no doubt about it. Blue blood, back to back. First time in 15 years. Second time in like 30. You know what I mean? I think both of them are A+ stories. Which one do you think would be? Yeah, that turned out to be the bigger one.
I think Edie and Purdue.
I know, crazy, right?
Because the reason I say this is because even how good they've been, I think everyone's still doubting them. Listen, I got a Yukon future, so I also am doubting them. But I feel like everyone's kind of doubting them, and not even just doubting them. Everyone hates them. Everyone hates Edie. They hate their style of basketball. I mean, what an ultimate fuck you to just like all the naysayers, the haters. They go, like you said, worst to first. They're a clown. They've been upset a bunch in the tournament. Have really good teams for years. Won seeds too. Have never made it even close to this far. So if they did pull off an upset over the team that won it last year, brought back a lot, lost a lot. A lot of people think the team got better,
which is crazy.
And everyone thinks they're gonna pull off the repeat for the first time in like almost 20 years. It'll be like 18 years. So I'm saying Purdue. If Purdue wins, so I think a lot of people would be shocked, about as shocked as you can be for a 1 seed winning a national title.
The story too is like, UConn's 2-year run, and look at how dominant UConn's 2-year run is. Now, don't get me wrong, Purdue is horrible, but what about the 2-year run for Edie? 2 players of the year, a potential national championship, a freak of an athlete, played himself into like this 2-year run is as impressive as Yukon. No,
freak of an athlete. I was gonna check you there. Now,
freak of a human.
Yes, yeah, fair.
So like that's a hell of a run for him as well.
Well, I was right when you said that, kind of was hitting me where if they were able to pull it off, especially if it's a big game, if he goes for like 25 and 12 tonight plus on Klingon, just back-to-back players of the year, like you said. I mean, he goes down as one of the best college basketball players of all time. I'm saying I'm not saying not to run anything, but when you talk about like however many top like 20, 30 probably college players ever in terms of careers they had.
Is it a better career than
title?
Hansborough? And I thought Hansborough had like an unbelievable career. Back-to-back players of the year and a national title.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a hell of a resume.
Hansborough only got the one.
Yeah,
he got it in his senior year.
That's a hell of a resume, and especially considering how much and just how much better he got.
Yeah.
Like when he stepped on campus 4 or 5 years ago, you would have never thought that he would have been the best player in college basketball, best player in a national title winning team. That'd be insane.
So in terms of the game tonight, and we don't have the props out here in Arizona, but what are you thinking in terms of tonight, percentage wise, or like I think Purdue like has been a little bit of a sleeping giant here. They got vengeance on their mind. They've been kicking ass, taking names through this whole tournament as well. We're talking about Yukon dominating. Purdue's been damn good in this tournament as well, kind of dispatching teams. I think it's going to be Yukon. I'm betting Yukon, but I see this as a game right down to the 4 to 6 minute mark, and then I see Yukon separating it with like they always do, and they win by about 8 or 9. I do think they cover, but I think this is a war for 35 minutes, and it really wouldn't shock me with Purdue. So I guess what percentage do you say if the game's, what do you think? What percentage can Purdue win this?
I'll say like it's tough because UConn is so good. Even Painter said it in an interview where like they're a team you just can't make mistakes because they'll go on an 8-0 run like that and they'll do it over and over. We've seen them go Illinois 30-0 run.
Yeah.
Some of these San Diego State just blow their doors off. I'll say like 25-30.
Okay.
I even think that's kind of high to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I really think this UConn team is that good. Like if you put it this way, if UConn won by like 25 tonight, would that shock you?
No, absolutely not. But that anything UConn, I mean, we said it all the time. Listen, I think Alabama's truthfully like maybe the second most talented team in the country when it's all said and done. They were really
talent-wise, they're up there.
Really good talent wise. They played lights out, A- game. They lose by 14.
Yeah.
You know, like a cold stretch late, and UConn dictated the pace and changed the tempo to where it was 80 points in the first half. We were in the 60s with like 6-7 minutes left, maybe even less, like 5-6 minutes. They really just shut them down. So UConn, nothing UConn does is like would shock me. They're just an enigma. They really are.
They literally haven't shot the ball well until literally the last like 5-10 minutes of the Bama game.
Horrible.
They shot the ball horribly the whole tournament. Besides that last, Caravan and Spencer got hot at the end. If they shoot the three well, like it's a wrap.
Horrible.
Wrap.
Yeah. So
the fact that they've been blowing teams out without shooting, like having games like Northwestern where they shoot like 10, 12, 15% from three.
Right.
They've shot bad the whole time. It's crazy.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the Final Four, so you bet UConn as well.
I was debating whether I'm going to be a sicko enough to still lay the points, even though I have
the future. What do you have the number at?
It's only like 4-1.
What are you at?
Or 3.5, 4. It's like 3. Yeah, 3.5 and 4-1.
Oh, so you're basically in Dave's boat.
Yeah, I took it. I think I took it. Dave took it like Wednesday. I bet it literally Monday. Selection Sunday. I bet it Monday.
Got it.
So like I'll win like deep, but it's not like some crazy 20-1. And obviously I don't have 600K.
I say it all the time when I did it with the Houston Astros. UConn is never going to be a 3-1 favorite. So yeah, you had a money line it the whole way through, but you're holding a money line that tonight, if this line came out, you would laugh at them. You'd be like, UConn's plus what? 325? You would laugh, or 260?
Yeah,
350. You would laugh at them. So anytime you could take that, you
4.
take that. That's not a bad bet. It's a good bet. You know, Dave proved that too. So
it's it's funny because Dave's been talking about it all morning. People are saying like you should either, like obviously for me, I'm not going to hedge because I don't have nearly as much money on it. Obviously,
right?
I'm just going to let it ride. Him, I understand. Like hedging is like you can like put 600. You like don't want to just eat 600 if you really believe in the bet. Some people are saying you should put like 250 on Purdue money line, and it basically would be or something like that. So basically it would be like it basically either he'd win like two. It would basically protect him from if he did that and UConn won, he'd win like 1.75 or something like that instead of like 2 or 2.1. But I mean, I don't blame him. You feel confident.
He's not a hedge guy.
We had the same mindset. Like I just really what inspired me to just place the bet was a few of my boys that don't really watch college basketball were like, "Who do you think's going to win the tournament? Who thinks going to win the tournament?" Like for brackets and shit. And I was like, honestly, I just don't see how UConn doesn't win. Like I was thinking at the time, like they're so good. I really think if they play like even decently, no one can really fuck with them besides maybe like a Purdue or Houston. That's it. Even them, if they play like a B game or better, I think they win. Unless they just go nuclear for 3. That's the only way. And even then, it's still tough. So I just like, fuck it. I got to put my money. This is really what I believe. I'm betting it.
It's so hard to go back to back. What would be, where do you put this in terms of like some of the current kind of dynasty runs that we've seen? Chiefs. I'm not going to put the Patriots because that's just insane. And it was spread so far. But like the Astros won multiple, right? Astros over a small period of time. Chiefs. Bama. Where do you put UConn's like run? I don't think it's the most impressive, but it's pretty damn impressive.
I mean, it would be up there.
Going back to back in college basketball, just
well, that's what I was gonna say. When you compare it to just college basketball, I mean, like you said, Florida is the only one that you can really compare it to.
Yeah.
And before Florida, what was it before that?
Duke. Yeah.
And what was that?
91, 92.
Okay. So yeah, so obviously it's been a long ass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's definitely. I mean. And if you think, obviously they had some turnover, but you look at those Duke teams, like that was where they brought back Hurley later. These guys, Florida brought back like obviously their big core. Like UConn, like literally lost their 2 best players.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is we're potentially going to see 2 national champions who lost their whole core in UConn, and also on the women's side, South Carolina. When you told me that, I was like, "There's no way that's true." They lost all 5 for the women,
insane.
So like. That was crazy as well. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, that first quarter, she was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But that's the same kind of thing with UConn, Bama type vibes. Like Bama's hitting every 3 they're putting up, and it's just not enough. I mean, they started the game down 11-0.
I mean, what was the rebounding? It was like 51 to like 29 or something like that. Something like Caitlin Clark said, like you just like when you get out rebounded like that, you have to literally just make every shot.
You got to make everything.
Like, how are you going to win like that?
You think Dawn Staley, well, I mean, we joke around about it a little bit. Like, you think Dawn Staley could handle a mid-major men's job?
I've been the one saying I really think so. I think if there's one person that can, one woman that can, like she can. I mean, she's just tough. She's from Philly. Like, she's really just gritty. I mean, I think she absolutely could, because I think she has the type of personality that would just command respect. That's how I feel. Like, I think she would. I think she's very easy to like respect. Like, she just has like a demeanor about her, and a toughness, and just like a clear, just like a high level basketball IQ. I think she absolutely could coach men's basketball, 100%.
All right, off the court. This one was, obviously the bigger story. It's funny, man. The Final Four is
now
like,
we're getting into it. This is what the people tuned in.
It's
for.
like a 7th grade dance, dude. You come here and everyone's trying to leave with somebody else, and that's what's really going down. So, John Calipari leaves Kentucky for Arkansas. Shockwave value when you first saw that headline. I am now in the mix because like I laughed at it. I said, "There's no way this is true. Like, no way, no way." And then pretty soon I had to retract that. I'm like, "Yeah, it turns out it's pretty true."
I mean, it happened so fast,
crazy,
no, but
and they hit it.
I think everyone took it in the same way, where it first gets reported by like somebody like, you don't know, and you're like, that's crazy, man. The guy just signed a lifetime, whatever.
Right.
A couple years ago, even though obviously he's been criticized, all these early exits. Lose to Oakland, you lose to St. Peter's a couple years ago. Hasn't been to a Final Four in a long time, but
I just couldn't believe it was Arkansas.
But it makes sense once they talk about more where
he
was in a spot where he was. I think he definitely was one bad loss away from being out of there, being forced out. Arkansas has a ton of money. They're one of those random schools where you might not, if you were just casual, you wouldn't like realize it. The Walton family, they have so much money.
So much money.
He basically took. He was making $8.5 million a year at Kentucky. He's making like 8 and change, and he's getting like a $6-7 million a year NIL budget.
So, what do you think about the narrative?
They just built a whole new facility.
What do you think about the narrative of the boosters? Like, and I like Muss. You've obviously you like Muss.
I like Muss, yeah.
So I do think that there was a little bit of worry, like, oh, the NIL. I don't know if there's going to be money, and that's why Muss. Like the boosters holding out to a degree. I equated it to like in the NBA when the Knicks just quit on D'Antoni. They didn't want to play for D'Antoni anymore, and the players have the power. These boosters now have the power where they're like, yeah, the NIL shut off. Well, the NIL shut off until we get a guy that we want, and that faucet goes right back on. So that was an interesting thing to me. Like Calipari comes in, and it's like the Tysons are all in, you know what I mean? Like that faucet was shut off, faucet's back on real damn quick. I was shocked to see him go there. And then obviously, now it's the question, all right, who gets Kentucky?
Nate Oates.
Yeah, so I don't
have Blue Bosco.
I don't have a problem with it.
Big Blue Bosco.
I don't have a problem
and
with
Bosco knows, if anyone that watches Pick Central, I've said this to Bosco for like weeks, that this is happening. I can't be the only one that said that.
No. All right, so you're pretty critical, and you hold me accountable. We're like, that's bullshit, Rico. That's bull. Like, all right, so what have I said bad? I've said bad about Kentucky, or I've said bad about Calipari?
Because from what I saw, there may or may not have been an audit done, not obviously by me. Our social may or may not have done an audit on your tweets. No, it definitely was like 95% Calipari. It was like maybe a little Kentucky, but it was high majority Calipari.
All Calipari.
So
do I feel dirty wearing that blue? Yeah, I'm gonna feel dirty wearing that blue potentially. Listen, if he's offered it for the right amount of money, I think he goes. Okay, I'm saying that.
The two big names, it seems like, are him and Billy Donovan. But even Billy Donovan, I think
Scott Drew's a pretty big name too.
I think I think he's an option, but I think he's down the list. Like,
right.
I'm saying, like, I think you're calling like Oates first. You're calling a Billy Donovan first. You might even call like all right. I think someone else that really would
Duke
fit.
said
like,
this
Scott
on
Drew would make sense.
Duke said this on Pick Central today. Okay, it's gonna sound crazy, but this is another guy with the wings are here. Beautiful.
Let's go.
Fire him up.
Let's go.
Absolutely beautiful.
Huge.
$22.99, all you can eat, and a $10 bonus card. Unbelievable. Monday and Thursday. Let me get those where you can see them. So Duke said this today, and I don't love to like throw out the crazy names. Although even though I do like kind of throw out the crazy names.
You love throwing out crazy names.
He's not happy.
You suggested me the other day that the potential Bills trading Josh Allen to the Giants.
Yeah, I did. I sold that one.
Just they traded Diggs, so they're going to blow up the whole team.
He's not happy in Kansas right now. Could they? Duke said this.
Oh,
Duke said this.
Okay.
Could they make a run where it's like, hey man, you hate Kansas right now? Like, you don't love.
But why does he hate Kansas?
Well, he hated his team last year, so I don't know if he hates Kansas.
That was one team.
I know. He doesn't.
Where they had,
but maybe he's in a spot where his
best two-way player got hurt for the tournament.
Maybe he's in a spot where he's like, you know what, my head's a little fucked up, and you can make a guy make a rash decision. You put any stock in what Dukes. Again, this is Dukes.
I don't think you get that mad at your like. You don't just leave Kansas because you had 1 year where you lost like the second round. Like I don't think that's. And you had a team that had no depth. And
I don't know. I love the conspiracy.
I don't know. I just think that'd be. I just think whatever they could offer Kentucky, Kansas would match like salary. I mean, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
Out there. So who do you think it's going to be? You really think
yes,
it's going to be
Nate Oates? I'm dead serious.
Really?
I said that weeks ago. I said he was one bad loss away from Nate Oates getting that call, and they booted Calipari out. It apparently was no more losses. It was Calipari just leaving on his own because he felt the heat and knew he was going to go into a safer, better situation where he gets to kind of like basically like not rebuild because obviously they're going to be bringing a bunch of talent immediately. But I mean, he gets to go to a spot where it's like a clean slate, basically. Whereas with Kentucky, everyone's like, you stink. At Arkansas,
I don't know.
At Arkansas, you're walking in the door getting a hug. At Kentucky, they're kind of like, hey, Cal. Like, what are you doing now?
Well,
like, what's
do you think Oates walks in with a clean slate at Kentucky? Because I don't. I think the pressure's on him immediately.
But
they like him.
But that's Kentucky, though.
Yes.
That's the difference between
to that extent, though, if you're getting
Arkansas doesn't have the same standard. Trust me, they want to win and they do have a high standard, but Kentucky standard is the pinnacle.
But if you can win at Alabama, and they're going to build you a new arena, why wouldn't you stay? I know the money, and I know Kentucky's Kentucky.
Kentucky's Kentucky. Listen, at Bama, he could win a national title. You'll always be second fiddle, always number two.
Kentucky's going to be number one.
At Kentucky, you're the guy.
And he would be
You're the highest paid guy in the state.
He would be a god.
You're like at Kentucky, it's you. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not even with Saban going like DeBoer, like it's still football first, basketball second.
Yeah.
Like it's just Kentucky, there's no better job than Kentucky. It's the pinnacle job. It's like that Duke, like UNC, like there's Kansas maybe, but like there's no UCLA. No, there's even UCLA like, kind of falling off a little bit. There's no better job than Kentucky.
Right.
Kentucky's if I had to pick one, it'd be Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna go down with that. All right. So we went to the Suns game yesterday. Courtside, unbelievable experience.
Insane.
I'm all in on the Suns, dude, and I'm all in on having been only watching the Knicks. Jose Alvarado is a fucking absolute treat to watch in person. It was like jet ski in intramurals, but like times 10. Jet ski. He's out of his mind. You like got to see this guy live. What? Yeah, no, it was crazy.
He's just the most. I've never seen him more just like New York point guard than this guy.
Like little,
he's just
crazy
in your
eyes.
face. He's shooting threes. He's like talking shit to no one just to get fired up.
We kept being like, who's he talking to the
shit.
bench? He would hit a three, screaming at the bench, like motherfucker, screaming at the bench. Like, who's he have a problem with? Like,
he almost fought Devin Booker at one point.
Zion's a freak to watch.
Dude, he was
live too.
Seeing Zion up close was insane.
Durant is still from the time he was a freshman in college. Durant has always been my favorite natural scorer ever. So that was like a really cool bucket list type game to see those guys fast. Also, shout out to the people in Arizona. Really nice and really laid back. The game is going. We come back a little bit late, 2 minutes into the third quarter. And me and Ev are like, all right, to the guy, like, can we go? Where do we want to wait till it stops? The guy's like, no, just go. There's a quick change of possession. Me and Ev had to avoid the ref.
The ref did almost ran me over.
If that was the Garden, they would have shot us. You can't breathe without them walking. The other thing was Booker was unbelievable. He missed his points.
Yeah, I would say we over 26.5 points. He had 25, 0 for 6 from 3. Brutal.
But Zion had the line of the night. He's like this in the ref's face. Alvarado's like this, and they finally get him separated. Zion comes over. He's like, "Hey, man, he's great." He goes like this. He's crazy. He's crazy.
Like, relax.
So that was an all timer.
Even Durant, just hearing Durant just like talk shit to the refs. Even like the Pelicans guys, we had some guy behind us that was hammered.
Bomb.
Suns fan just being like, just talking shit the whole time, just like, you suck. Guys, Pelicans guys are hitting threes and just like staring down our side of the court. It was insane to take it in that close.
It was really cool.
Like you said with Durant, seeing Durant like just get a rebound, run up the court, just pull up from 30. Like
he's just
like
so
6
smooth.
feet from him and just like bury us like a 30 for 3.
He's just so smooth.
Insane. And you're like, Zion is a freak.
Yeah.
He had some dunks, some blocks that Just seeing a dude like that thick that can jump like that, I've never seen anything like that. Insane.
It is Gallon Day. Quickly with baseball, it's Gallon Day. Yankees
all we
are on a tear.
celebrate?
Mets are a disaster. We always celebrate Gallon Day. In terms
Run
of
line, Rockies.
the Final Four, like your vibe out here, Arizona, I do think it's a little spread out. I don't like where Glendale is. There was some stuff here in Phoenix. There was some stuff in Scottsdale. So it was a little spread out, but beautiful, beautiful weather. And in terms of like events or like bachelor party type things or like dude trips, where does this rank in terms of like good weekends? Because I put it pretty high up there.
No, this is, I mean,
And that's what it seems like.
Scottsdale
It seems like a lot of guys like, hey, my team's in it.
Yeah.
Or like we go to the Final Four every year and they're just walking around, having a blast. Like I'm excited for San Antonio next year, but Arizona is a top tier destination.
No, incredible. Like it's literally the only problem would be just that Glendale's little like 30 minutes away from Phoenix.
Right.
But Phoenix and Scottsdale is awesome. I mean, Purdue guys showed up big time.
Yes.
Ton of Purdue guys.
Boiler up.
Out
Boiler
boozing
up.
last night, having a good time.
The
Seeing
NC
Purdue
State
guys
people
everywhere.
came out. A lot of Bama people came out.
I was saying a lot of NC State guys flew in from Newark. A lot of NC State guys in Newark. I was surprised.
Yeah.
But I appreciate them. Hey, you make a run like that, it's like, hey, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the family down. Let's go to the game. Screw it.
Exactly. It's the perfect time. It's when it starts getting nice out, you know.
And going again, I never gotten to go. Last year I didn't get to go actually to the game. Going to the Final Four games was awesome.
It's a little weird in that stadium.
That I don't know. Have you ever been to a?
Yeah, not before New
in a
Orleans.
football
Not
stadium?
before New Orleans. And it was tough to get used to.
Because you were in the. I had good seats. Like we were like the lower level.
Yeah.
And like 10th row, but you still in front of us. We're behind the one basket. It's still kind of far. Like you still could like see the game well.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like you had to like watch the jumbotron. You had a clear like good view of the game. But you have like the student section, the media tables, and then like the 100 section. We were like row like 10.
Agreed. Yeah.
Of like the lower section.
That's how it's.
But it still was awesome to see like two games. And by the second game, it was all like Purdue for NC State for the first game. So the second game, we were like, man, out there we had like four dudes for like a whole row. Everyone's kind of chilling, and Yukon was kind of in control. Even though I guess and Bama wasn't early, but it just kind of felt like you knew Yukon was going to.
I mean, yeah. Once they didn't get a big lead,
Bama was just so hot the first quarter. The fact that they were losing, they were like
it's crazy. Yukon's that good, man. They're just that good. So, Jessica, we'll try the voicemail. I think we're gonna get sounded. And then if not, I'm gonna set the hot shot.
Am I live?
Yeah.
Voicemail.
All right.
I'm gonna bring some fucking energy for
All right.
you.
This is Nikki C's a day one
Out of
guy.
Chicago. We're not currently in Chicago right now, but that's okay. We're enjoying nice clear blue water. All right. I wanted to ask you about your omelet station etiquette. Very important question I got. I know you got all this other bullshit going on. But we can get to that. We can get to that in a fucking second. All right, Portnoy. You see this fucking guy running? This guy's running to make fucking buses. All right, I know he's fucked up.
Oh, I think I heard this one.
That's fucking all right. And these callers earlier today would help you debate. Bring the fucking energy for your
But I'm gonna have his opinion on it.
Are you really a rider? Then you'll show some fucking energy. And Bosco, we love you, brother. Stay strong.
All right, so he had a question about omelet station etiquette, but didn't really get to it. Fire up the next one.
Yo, Bosco, what's up? Monkey Turtle. I hope you're keeping your head up, man. That was a tough game. Yukon's a wagon. I hope you guys get to this voicemail. I'm leaving it at exactly 4 o'clock Eastern time. Just wanted to give my condolences. And my healthy debate for today is, hypothetically, if you were to say that someone that rhymes with great goats might go and possibly get another job somewhere, how quickly would you look into their sports program and their basketball program and whatnot?
Instantly.
Regular fan, like if you're the fan of this great goats guy, like, and you're a fan of the coach and his program, like, where would you go if he were to hypothetically get a job at somewhere that's like kind of near Ohio and Indiana and whatnot? That's pretty much it. I don't know. What I would do is pretty much just see what the program's like, look at what they've done as a history of a school and see, is this a fit for me? So, I'll do debate.
Yeah, pretty much instantly. I think, I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, I get it. I get the like feedback or the pushback of me. Like, oh, you root for this team, you root for that team. Like, I don't know. I am all in on the one guy. Like, what? Give me the breakdown of where you're at mentally with like every time you see me, or if you saw me putting on the blue, how sick you would be with it. Like, you cut it pretty straight. When I fuck up, like you tell me, or when things bother you, you don't pull any punches. So like, where are you at?
What, just about rooting for Kentucky?
If he goes to Kentucky tomorrow, and I'm rooting for Kentucky.
No, you have to.
Yes.
You've dug your heels in already. I told you already. If
I said he was 1-1 pretty early.
If Kentucky fans are not, listen, for me, I'm going like full, like big picture. I obviously would never do it. You were a Duke fan your whole life.
Didn't go to school.
But you were a Duke. You were like a hardcore Duke fan. Like that's what you were like when I met you. You were like that for a long time. You lost the juice. I mean, you like the coaches.
I got into the world.
Yeah, boat, I guess.
I got into the world.
I know, but I more at this point now, like where you're at now, you got to just kill them with kindness. If the Kentucky fans don't accept you, you need to just love even harder.
Do you think it's a package deal at this point? You saw the hug on the court. Do you think it's a package deal? Did you see that video, jet ski? Package deal.
Well, no, but this is the life that you chose.
Yes,
but I would have never done it.
Right, but when Big Blue Nation says we can't take you or you're not welcome, don't you think I'm getting in the door anyway?
No, but you have to kick the door. If I was a Kentucky fan, I would say fuck you, 100%. But I'm not a Kentucky fan, so I don't really care.
I think Titus had a great line today. He goes, "There's a lot more people in Lexington looking to put their arm around the old ball coach than there is in Tuscaloosa."
He's
sure.
Like,
there's no shock
That's a good
that you
point.
got to the top of the food chain. I had people in the athletic department saying this is our number one fan on the court. They're like, this is our number one guy. So like,
that's a good point by him. I didn't.
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of
even,
Ricos.
that,
Jeff Diller said that. There's a lot of Ricos down in Lexington.
For sure.
So we'll see.
100%.
All right, Jetski, give me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
I'm on pins and needles now. I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right, do the last one. I'm going to set the record as well, and then we'll have the guy come in kind of end the show.
Hey, Rico. Healthy debate. It's Jack from Wisconsin. Two quick ones. One, tonight you got to take Purdue +6 for content. You're out of the doghouse. Jump back in.
Give me at 7 now.
If you have real cojones, you take the money line.
I don't know about that.
Secondly, love the show.
All right, thank you. We always appreciate that. I think at this point, listen, Saturday night when Dave was like, how dare you root against me? Those were my guys. Like, Bama was my guy Saturday. If you abandon it that. Now, you're just an asshole rooting against this $2 million bet.
No, listen, if
you are an asshole.
If you came in with Purdue and took them money line and were avidly rooting against them, you might have to walk home.
Yeah. And also,
that would be crazy.
And I don't even like Purdue in the game. So now you're just being a complete
You're just
asshole.
being a troll.
Yeah.
To your boss winning
That's a Hank move.
Potentially
winning
Hank,
2
but that's
million.
a Hank. I don't even think Hank would do that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's $2 million.
That's a Hank.
$2 million is crazy.
That's a Hank move.
I can't even fathom it. I'm speechless with the amount of money.
That's a Hank move. That's a Hank move. All right, let's set you the guest. Yeah, bring the guest on because you got me shocked.
Yeah, I'm
and I like how Mulcahy is the quietest guy in the room is involved in this.
I feel like this could just go so many different with
Could
Bosco.
go a lot of different ways.
With Bosco, this could go a million different directions. I have no idea who this could be.
This could be good. It could be bad.
Like this could be like an actual.
All right. Well, I got to set the record too, which we don't know how long it's going to take. All right. Okay. This guy's the head of the.
How you doing? You look good up there,
nice.
man. Are you ready to make the transition to be a Kentucky basketball dick rider now? Boy, Nate Oates is gone, man. Or you can come join the Providence Wagon. Shout out to our boy John Fan for putting us on PMT. That shit was dope. We'd love to have you, but it's time to make a change.
Arenas?
No way.
Oh, yo. All right. Sorry to Man Cheetah.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I had his shoes at AAU. Agent Zero.
Agent Zero.
No way.
What a setup.
Oh my God.
What's up, man?
Agent
Rico.
Zero in the
What's
house.
going on, man? How are you? It's Big Ev.
What's going on? Man.
What's up?
Guy, this guy had the best sneakers.
All right. Appreciate
Unreal.
I love it. I love it.
You had the best sneakers. The best sneakers. My AAU had the blue and whites. They used to put on some weight since then, but these are the AAU back in the day.
Your clips on TikTok have been flooring me recently. Yeah, they've been flooring me. The stories are, I'm sure you have a lot for days, but the ones I've been seeing have been top notch.
Usually I just mix the old ESPN style with my style, the clickbait but actual facts, and then
The locker room stuff is crazy. We were courtside yesterday. I know you're obviously still tuned into the NBA, the college game as well. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But Jose Alvarado, we saw him up live. I knew him from playing in high school in Christ the King. So we knew him as a New York City point guard. But man, he is a jackrabbit in terms of trash talk on the court. Is all fair game with a guy like that? Or you could see that being a problem in the locker room? Because what happened was he gets in a shoving match and they bury him for the last 6 to 8 minutes, and he played out of his mind.
He was shooting the three great,
He was killing the three, but he gets buried. So could you see a guy like that running thin in a locker room because he's so dialed in all the time? Maybe starting fights in practice. What do you think of a guy like that?
when you're so guys like that, when you're winning, they're amazing because they are the spirit of the team. When you're losing, you're trying to find someone to put the blame on, and it's always the guy that has the most energy, right? He's the guy that is like, he doesn't allow losing. He doesn't allow losing spirits. There's only one of those on a team. There's more loser mentality than there are winners. So he could rub shoulders the wrong way when your team is not in that position to win. So it's always we want to find someone to put the blame on, and it's going to be guys like him.
Who was the most annoying practice player in your history in the NBA? The guy you were just like, man, fuck that motherfucker.
Chucky Atkins.
Okay.
Oh my God. Because as soon as you walk into the locker room, he's already gone. Yeah, coach said I'm the best point guard on the team, and he just gets to go because he always pushed the star players. So if you're trying to have a nice little relaxed day, he was not having that shit.
Now, who was the guy you said on the other side of that you hated going against like that was guarding you or whatever, that was just a nuisance?
Steve Blake. Because
Steve Blake literally thought he should be starting, right? So,
so because he felt he should be starting or getting more time, you got to think back then, there was no 32 minutes for the star. We were playing all of 42, 46 minutes. So guys like him didn't get a chance to play. So in practice, he really came at you in practice. Literally, we're about to go to blows every practice.
Wasn't that video of him getting a fight right at practice?
Yeah, that was Maryland. That's him. No, that's 100%. That's him. Yeah. Right. If you gave him a cheap shot, he didn't like the way you talk trash, he will swing on you. 1,000%.
You think that's good though? Guys almost getting to blows every day of practice.
You saying it's good if your teammate punches you in the face in practice?
Potentially. I mean, if we've got a guy pushing you every day.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a star player, let's just be honest. You're battle tested every day in practice. So if you can't handle Steve Blake,
right,
how are you supposed to handle Steve Nash?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So
don't hurt. Yeah, he shouldn't be out there trying to hurt you, but he should make you hate yourself every time.
It's one of those things where back then, it's not now, but you have to. It's the jungle every day in practice, right? You want someone to want your position because it's the only way you do get better. I got better from the Chucky Atkins, from the Larry Hughes, from the Steve Blakes, right? The guys who are really coming at you yo, if I don't come at you, you're not going to be ready for the Kobe Bryants, the Allen Iversons. So we're going to prepare you every day in practice, and I got better like that.
Tonight's game, Yukon obviously been a force. Edie out there, revenge, complete revenge spot, back-to-back player of the year. What do you take away? Who do you think's going to take it tonight?
UConn is a beast, man. I'm sorry. They just know how to play the game of basketball. They all play together. I mean, defensively, offensively. So this should be a cakewalk if they come to play, right? if big fella in Purdue decides he wants to dominate, it could give them a match. Yeah. I mean, it's Yukon. Look, all the stars from Yukon are going to be in the building, right? I mean, how many Purdue stars are there? Like 4 or 5?
You got They got some hair pieces too. Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you how do you think Edie is going to do in the league?
Ooh, that's another situation. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's a dinosaur position for guys like him, right? It's nothing against him and who he is. You know, you're talking about a senior, right? Which is frowned upon in the first place. You know, in the NBA, when you're coming in that old, it's like, what's wrong with you, right? So, 21, turning 22, big guy. You slow down the offense for him when the offense today is trying to move 100, 124, 125. So everything is going against him, right? Going into the draft. So when I looked at it, it said he was in the, back-to-back player of the year, second round, like, whoa. Right? You'd rather go with the 18, 19-year-old. So the Yukon kid would be drafted way in front of him, right? Yeah. So he's one of those guys that might go to Spurs, could see him in Dallas second round, but for the most part, it's not like someone's going to draft him top 15 and this is going to be your team.
Makes sense.
You're going to be the future. Like, he's going to be a journeyman. He'll get 8 to 12 years. Like, he's gonna get 8 to 12 years.
I was gonna say, because to me, that for him, I think that's successful. I was saying, like, if he could even have, like, say, like a little bit better, like a Boban kind of role. Yeah. Like, I feel like that could work for him. Like, I think to me, he plays 10 years. That's success.
That's today. Yes. If this is early 2000,
he's supposed to be a franchise guy. Yeah.
He'll be a guy.
Big center.
Be a guy you're gonna be dumping the ball down to. As soon as the game starts, you turn 5, give him the ball, give big fella the ball. Now, these 5 men, the Euro 5s and a 4 have changed the game. No matter how you look at it, they've changed the game. They took it out of the American center's hand and said, listen, we can do a lot better. We can shoot, we can pass, we can dribble, catch up. So now it's like, well, if I have a star 1, 2, or 3, instead of having a big man that's going to sit down there, I'd rather hit him with a Euro big who can pull him out. My guard can go one-on-one, pass it. He can shoot a 3. He can run the offense. So you get more out of the Euro big man than the American big.
Yeah, we're big Knicks guys. New York, future looks a little bit bright. Obviously this year too as well. What's the ceiling for the Knicks? Eastern Conference Finals.
Come on, bro.
Gil.
You don't think we have any chance to get into the Conference Finals?
Seed, potentially.
Is this your first one, or is this the
you don't think even
What's
Eastern Conference
wrong with
Finals?
the Knicks?
That's not that crazy. That's 2 series. They can't win 2
they're a
series.
game and a half, 2 games out of the 2 or 3 seed potentially.
Listen.
They just beat the Bucks.
Yeah. The Bucks in regular season. That is amazing. You don't have Julius Randle, right? You have
Might be
Brunson.
addition by subtraction.
Yeah. I can't argue with that one there. You have
Healthy
Brunson,
debate.
he is a playoff superstar.
Yeah.
Right? Him in the playoff, his game is built for half court dissector. He's going to be a surgeon to wherever he plays. You'll beat Cleveland, of course.
Yeah, we own Cleveland. That's easy.
Cleveland.
Beat Orlando.
We get Orlando.
Yeah, that's a cakewalk. So it depends. Getting out of the second round depends. If you can get Orlando and Cleveland somehow, cakewalk. But you're playing against, Bucks in the second round if they make it, or Boston, who have true superstars. They have the referee, you know what I mean? They have the star power that needs to move on, that's going to get those calls. Like, the only thing Brunson's going to have trouble with is getting the calls he needs when it counts. There's those last 5 minutes when you're trying to bump him and roughing them up, they're going to let that whistle go. And I don't, those type of names don't get the respect that they need in the playoffs.
So if they were the 3 potentially and got the Bucks in the 3-2 in the semis, you don't think they stand the chance to get to the conference finals?
Nah, because Dame is going to get the benefit of the doubt, and Giannis is going to get the benefit of the doubt on that whistle.
But we're not far away. You made it like we're in the lottery, and I'm like, and
you laughed.
You laughed at us. You laughed at us.
No, because look,
and then you did the fall over laugh on my boy. Like,
come on. There's just some teams right now, like first round, second round. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But that's a win for us. We're building. We're not giving away draft picks.
No,
we got Brunson.
Being smart for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
For the first time being smart.
How bad was it when you were like potentially looking at free agency.
No
Or
one
what?
wanted to
Is
go
it
to the
is it
Knicks.
Dolan? I know it's Dolan.
I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Yeah,
guys.
that was silence is
Yeah,
tell all
he's a
sometimes.
powerful guy.
It's the fans. You guys are fucking brutal to the team.
Knowledgeable, at least knowledgeable
You guys
though.
are, that's the problem. You guys.
So you'd rather play for dumb fans?
Yeah, just no, because see, New Yorkers, we won't just blindly follow
Yeah,
anything.
but what about the
follow? That's the problem.
the stage, man? Even when we're bad, we're selling it out every night.
Yes.
How many times did you go in there against a 19-46 Knicks on Easter Sunday and it's sold
Now
out?
think about it. As the opponent, we love the Garden, right? Because you guys just want great basketball. So we're gonna come in there. I hit 3 or 4 shots. You guys are gonna turn against whoever's guarding me, which is a Knicks player, and from there it's like, good luck, buddy. This is my crowd. So what happens is the opponent's star loves the Garden because you're gonna turn, right? As a home crowd, right? Such a powerful stadium. If we start off slow, you're gonna boo the hell out of us. We're not gonna come back from that. If we start missing shots, turning the ball over, the crowd boos, which just imagine your girlfriend, you're trying to perform right now, and your girlfriend just starts booing you, right? It just takes away anything.
My wife does boo me when I'm on
Boo.
every video. I'm like, I had a good video tonight. What do you think? She's like,
Like, come on, think about it. When we watch rap shows, right? And they go to concert and someone starts booing them. They don't finish. They don't bring out their best song. No, they're just like,
Right.
you lose energy, and that's the same with basketball. So in the playoffs, it's a little different. You guys do like really start pushing more for the Knicks, but it's that regular season. Like you want them to come in with that spirit. Like Golden State, for the most part, those teams in the playoffs, it's hard to win there. So the fact that you have a Trae Young, right, who he feels the Garden is his.
yeah.
Right?
Reggie Miller. Same way. I grew up watching him.
They got so much love during the regular season. Their confidence going in there, they are the most confident going into that series. There's nothing the Garden can do to Trae Young now that would affect him. Even if you boo and spit on him, he has so much confidence from the fans cheering for him that he knows y'all are here to see me anyway. Y'all not here to see them.
Yeah.
But I would say this: when we love hard. Like Jalen Brunson is like forever.
He's
New York
crying.
King.
He's
forever.
crying in postgame
Two
interviews.
years. In our stand, he's been unbelievable. I think he should get MVP votes. But our Sanders Solo, you give us 2 years MVP of All-Star basketball. I mean, it's like this.
To be honest, as much grief I've gave New York, he should be All-Star. I mean, not All-Star ballot, but he should be MVP race.
Yeah.
He
Because of
has
what he
to be
means
top
to that
5.
team, right?
He has to be top. I mean, for the most part, when you look at the team, there's no stars, right? It's him carrying. It's no different than Shea over, and it's him carrying this team. Randall's out. He's carrying this team. Like when you say valuable, most valuable player, that is the definition of it.
You think the players should have a little bit of a vote in the MVP?
Yeah.
How much? 25%, 50%?
I think it should go, to be honest, I think it should go, knowing what I know, they should put it to AI.
Allen Iverson?
No. Artificial. Put it in there. No. Put it in there. Put everyone's stats, the team stats, how they played, and let it push out, and then go from 50% media, 50% players.
Okay.
The reason is if you guys had a vote, and I came over here and basically F you guys,
Right.
I'm not doing nothing, and then now it's time for voting, you guys are going to remember that.
100%.
I do think the media skews it, yeah.
And that's what ends up happening. It's the bias. It's the thing. This is, if you heard my Luka take, I mean not my Luka too, my Jokic take, it was based off of question. The question was, or the statement was, if Jokic gets his third MVP in 4 years, it's going to age bad. It will age bad compared to the rest of the field, and he cannot get his third MVP in 4 years. It's just going to look bad. And I'm like, the fact that
Now, clarify that, because you think guys like Steph should have won more? What do you mean it's going to age bad?
They're saying a 3-time, like, if you say three-time MVPs.
Right.
Now think about that list of 3-time MVPs.
Yeah.
Like Shaq, he won 3. Didn't he win 3?
Oh,
I thought or Kobe, Jordan.
No, it's LeBron.
He gets Steve Nash,
Bird.
so it's that
Bill.
exclusive,
It's that
that
exclusive.
now all of a sudden you got a guy, even though he deserves it, you got a guy getting to an historic list, and it's like, oh, we fucked up.
Yeah.
That should just tell you that the media's been fucking up for 40
And
years.
that's the problem. What they're doing is they're fucking it up, and then they're trying to recorrect it, right? Jokic's first one, that was Giannis' third one. They didn't want to give Giannis his third one. Like 3 in a row, they're like, whoa, that's an exclusive list right there. That's Larry Bird. You're
whole
not
shit
Larry
is-
Bird. So we're gonna give it to Jokic, who team was 5th. He was okay, right? But they used that narrative, a big man averaging this many assists, not a basketball player, a big man. So it kind of put him in another category because they used the position. And then he won that next one, right? Even though his team was 10th. His team was 10th in overall NBA record, which never happened. Not doing something spectacular. He didn't even win 50 games that year when he got his second one. And then last year, where his team was 1, he's playing better. He should get the third one. There's like, we can't give you 3. We're not going to put you in that category. Let's give it Embiid. It's like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Right. And it's because they're messing with it. That they're trying to correct and realize someone like me who's realizing this is what you're doing, I'm going to keep poking the bear. And that's all I do.
Yeah.
So who do you think? Do you think he deserved this, or who do you think deserves it?
He deserves this one, right?
You think he's the best player in the league right now, in the world? Or Giannis, or who?
Between overall, so when you're talking about overall basketball, it's either him or Luka. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. Him or Luka is like defensively, I don't give 2 shits. I mean, like you going over there trying to stop somebody. What your skill, right? What you're doing with that basketball, scoring, moving, you're slow, you're still getting your shot off, your deception is impeccable. Them two are impeccable. Like it reminds me of Bird. When people say, can Bird play in this day? Like when you look at how Larry Bird played, it's the same. He used what you're supposed to be great at against you. Your athleticism, all this jumping and beating, your speed doesn't mean nothing to these guys, right? And it's, they got the footwork down pat where they are. Look, they're so good that they think, like we think that there's a Euro takeover when it's just only 5 guys. Like when we say, oh, the Euros is taking, there's only 5 guys, but these guys are so good. Since it is Euro, who is the second best Euro guard? Remember, Shea is Canadian, so that don't count. Who is the second best Euro guard?
Ricky Rubio still collecting checks.
That's what I said. It's like, what?
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's how far it is. But Luka's playing for all of Europe
Right,
guards. So we
yeah.
don't even say who's the best shooting guard.
Agreed.
It's Luka. You just put Luka 1, 2, 3, and he covers the board.
Do you think the game flips back? Like you obviously in the early part of your career, you saw the old centers, the position. Now we're seeing guys getting completely aged out unless you can play it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you can play fast. Do you foresee basketball going back to the traditional post-up center, or we've seen how the analytics are, and now that's just it's over?
It's not even about analytics. It's about skill development, right? How do you go back to, let's say, a Shaquille, right? So you bring in a guy like Shaquille and say, all right, on offense, okay, you're going to dominate. Well, on defense, what are you going to do? Because, all right, we'll say Joker and Embiid. Those are your matchups. Joker sitting at the three-point line, sitting there picking your whole team apart. Yep. So eventually it becomes this thing where math kicks in. How valuable is he on the court? See, if Shaq is not scoring 49, 50 points, and he's sitting there scoring 32, but he's giving up all these points because Joker's just picking the whole lineup apart because Shaq is not there playing defense. Because you want Shaq sitting in there deterring people from coming in there. Well, if he can't do that, and he's sitting at the three-point line, now we're doing a whole bunch of pick and rolls. He's in this drop
And these guards is now shooting. This is not the old Eric Snows coming off the pick and roll. This is Steph Curry, pick and roll, let's go. You got flamethrowers now. So what ends up happening is, how long can I keep him on the court? Now, if I can't play Shaq defensively, then he becomes one of those useless things for me. Like Rudy Gobert, he's winning Defensive Player of the Year, but can't play in the playoffs round one because they're going small ball, and since they don't pass the ball down low, he's using his offense, and now he's using his defense because he's not there protecting. So
crazy.
I don't see it going back. These guys like Sabonis, these centers are now, they're like what Chris Webber was times 100. Because now Chris Webber, they can pass, but they can, instead of the 18-footer, they can shoot the 23, 22.
Yeah.
I honestly, even going back to the MVP thing, crazy. I had this thing of like Shaq didn't win 3, Kobe didn't win. I thought Steve Nash kind of took his chance at 3 Kobe's. And as an elite, it's different. It definitely gives it perspective when you say it like that. Just the elite company that's in the 3-time MVPs for sure.
And that's what I said. Like, so I was when he wins his 3rd one, I was gonna go out there and say he's the worst 3-time MVP in NBA history. Everyone would go ballistic and not realize I said 3-time. So that's only a small group of people.
Yeah.
And then when you put those lists together and you look at it like, oh yeah, he's gonna be ranked 6th.
Because I think people took it as just seeing a guy who he's not like a freak athletically. You're used to seeing that. So I think that's what it seemed like people took away from it. Oh, he's not athletic, like you're not giving him credit.
He looks like a bouncer at a Russian club.
No, because the category was 2-time MVP. It's their criteria of their record plus his game. And most guys who actually, their team wasn't 1 or 2. Remember, for the most part, your team has to be in the NBA 1 or 2 for this criteria. So the fact that his team was fit, what did he do? He almost had a triple-double. Well, almost is not actually good. It's almost, right? And then Jordan, when he did it, his team was 7th, but that was 88 year, right? So that's different. When Westbrook won it, when his team was 10th, it was the triple-double year.
Yeah.
Right? So he did something historically. Jokic didn't. They just used, center. It was the center that passed the ball. Like, all right, this is going to age bad.
Yep.
But he should have won it the last 2 years. So no matter what, he should have too.
Is there a little tomfoolery with that Russell Westbrook triple-double? I heard some things. He got every rebound off the free throw. I heard there was a little tomfoolery with that.
Now,
the guys were in on it.
Now here's the real question.
Little stat pad.
So when he was doing it, it was stat pad. Then the question becomes, from a basketball player, why everybody ain't doing it? Why everybody can't doing it? You don't think Luka's out there trying to average a triple-double?
Right.
Yes, he is. It's a little harder than you think, right?
He's got a motor like that, and he just crashed the glass.
Jokic is trying to do it. It's just a little harder than you think.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. You don't think Jokic just trying to get 10 assists? Like, come on. See, he has the rebounds and the points. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Same thing with now you have to rely on people actually putting the ball in the basket. Westbrook's secret was because he is attacking the basket so hard.
He's so fast.
I can just give these assists right here, so I don't have to throw off. I just come to the lane, dump it right off, and you just score your little easy bucket.
It was like he was playing downhill. He was so fast.
So it became something that he made look so easy. So we said it was Pat Staten. Now when Jokic is almost doing it, it's like, oh, this is basketball.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't do that.
Like, what a facilitator.
Yeah, like you can't do that. It's just like rebound is hustling. That's it. Like, you can't say he's padding his stats because if he's hustling. Well, then that's every big man in the game.
Yep.
Because big men get paid off of rebounding. So when you have a guy going in there, Sabonis, I need 20-something rebounds, you're saying he's get the fuck up. Get the ball. That's your job. I don't give a shit who does it. I don't give a shit. As long as we get the ball, I don't have a problem. If you say, hey, you want 10, and then the next day you want 10, I don't care.
Yeah,
just give it to me. Just give me the 10. Long as the other team didn't get it, I don't care who got their stats at that point.
Fair enough.
It's just the weirdest thing. Like,
fair enough.
Like was like patent stats on blocking. Now that becomes a problem in the locker room because let's say someone is chasing a block record or a steals record, right? Which means now they don't really care about defense necessarily. They care about the stats. So let's say someone like Wemby. Let's say Wemby needs 10 more blocks. It's the last game of the season. How many offensive rebounds will he give up trying to block this shot? Right? That ends up happening. So they're sitting there trying to swat. They're going to swat at anything, just giving up a whole bunch of offensive rebounds because they don't care. At that point, they hope someone gets an offensive rebound so they can try to block that shot.
You think
those guys that get dunked on so much that game because they just want the block. They don't care about.
You think everybody notices it, or there's one guy who notices it and then he kind of?
The team notices.
The whole team notices.
Like when I was chasing the steal record, I'm just.
Oh,
running
so
through,
you know from
I'm
experience.
just running through passing lanes.
Yeah.
Just taking bad risks.
That's it. Just taking bad risks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Same thing with scoring title. You're just gonna take bad shots. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Like it's part of the game. So it's one of those things where this time of year right here is where the foolery comes in at.
Yeah. I'll give you two to end them. Sleeper to win the title, NBA.
Sleeper to win the title, Los Angeles Lakers.
Jesus.
I'm a Laker fan, man.
Yeah, fair enough. You can't count him out.
Okay,
you can't count him out.
You can't count them out. A real true sleeper. See, in the West, to be honest, in the West, there's no actual sleeper in the West because everyone has 3 stars, it seems like, right?
Yeah.
So, besides Denver, right? But everyone has 2 or 3 stars Hall of Famers, so you can't count out Clippers, Phoenix, right? I mean, Golden State would be a sleeper.
That's a good one.
Now, on the East, I'll say Bucks is a sleeper.
They're still at the top, though.
With
But yeah, I
Doc,
get your
they
point.
got Doc Rivers, dog. They got that. That's like having a boot on your car. Yeah. We know it's
crazy. These
drive it, but it ain't really going.
the record since he took over as opposed, they were what 30 and 13 or what was it?
13 and 14 now, or 14 and 13. Yeah.
You think the Thunder have a chance, even though they're young? You think they can make something happen this year, or too early?
Not too early. Thunder is going to be very good this year, next year, and then from there they'll take that down spiral because a team like this, which means all those young guys are playing very well, which means you have to pay them, and the fact that you already made a mistake that you didn't know you made, Lou Doran, right? When you signed him, it was a great signing. You have Jalen Williams. Now it becomes a horrible signing because now you're not, when he comes up, you're not going to have enough money for him. So I personally don't see how they're going to be able to keep him at the level he's playing. He's damn near right under max, right? So you're going to have super max, and then you have Chet max.
So many maxes.
So you're not going to be able to afford this team. Yeah. So they're going to end up trying to figure out how to break it up, but they got so many picks that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Last one. Worst city on the road.
Worst city on the road. Ask for what, though?
Everything inclusive. So, like, going in, it's got shit restaurants, it's a bad
Sacramento.
environment, horrible fan, like, horrible arena, teams are boring, like, factor it all in. Like, if you were the worst, you're like, oh, my God, we're going to this fucking place again? Like, no thanks.
Sacramento checked all of those off but the fans. In 2000, dollar beer night, ruthless.
Sacramento could still have enough edge on the other stuff to wait. You know what I mean, though. So
Hawks have horrible fans, right? That's not a basketball.
Horrible
city.
in the sense they don't fill it out,
They
or
don't
just
fill it out. Those guys, they're not there.
It's
for
Atlanta.
It.
There's different things going on in Atlanta, from what I've heard.
Miami their fan base is not that good. They come in at halftime, shit like that, fourth quarter, last 5 minutes.
But you're out in Miami.
But
You're gonna get a night. Yeah.
Memphis got a great fan. City's not really. The rumor was always. This was the saying the M's: Minnesota, Milwaukee, Michigan. The 3 M's. Get them out of here.
I love that. You got a last one?
No, I think we're good.
All right. What about? I was here to set the record, 1-on-1, real quick, on the hot shot. Head to head.
I'll commentate it. Yeah. Unreal. I think
Kinda. I think the marriage
saw
was
the writing on
getting
the wall.
the marriage was getting not good. I think he stepped out before he got divorced.
That's I think he would. Because I've been joking with him. He's a big Nate Oates guy. So I think he's going to go over. I've been saying that he was one bad loss away from me, and now I think he knew that. He felt the pressure. They were saying his relationship with the donor or whatever was not great.
Yeah.
Their big donor or whatever.
Yeah, see, I think what happened was nobody realized the last 4 years you're talking about COVID holdbacks. So now most of these teams have 23, 22, 24-year-olds on it. And his teams is going to always have 18 and 19-year-olds. So, yeah, he's going to, even though they're all 5-star, they're going to be at a disadvantage. It's not going to equal out probably until like 2027, where it'll get back normal, where all these older guys will be gone. Yeah. All right.
Now let's run it. Good. Are we going? We got GIlbert Arenas versus Bosco. We got one of the best scoring guards of his generation, and he ain't missing. Bosco, you're fucked, pal. I'm talking in his backs don't even matter. This is excellence personified, folks. This is elite shooting, elite scoring. This should give a lesson to everyone. You think when you watch NBA games, you think this stuff's easy. No, it's not easy. They just make it look easy. That was new high score. Just like that, new high score, folks. What do we got in the high score? 55? I'll give a little behind the scenes. We were playing a little bit this before. Bosco had the highest out of us. He got 34. That was 55 first try.
The New York fling. It's the New York fling.
This is, oh, man. I mean, you put him in a spot, he basically had to be perfect. He basically could have missed like 3. It's over. He's going to have to make, in the under 10 seconds, you get 3 points. You have to make every single one. He's got 22 with 15 seconds left. Get hot, Bosco. Get hot. Get hot. Just fire shots, and there we go. High volume. A few got to go in. This is a good, he's honestly kind of close. But, this is a good score, Bosco. Good score. We got 43. We have 46. 55, 46 is a good score. Very respectable score. Very respectable.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks so much, man. That was awesome. Agent Zero, ladies and gentlemen. GIlbert Arenas.
What a way to end the show.
Unbelievable.
What a way to end the show.
Unbelievable.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with that performance.
No, 46 was, I said you got 34. You did a few times. 46 is a really good score.
Yeah, I was a little nervous,
55
from GIlbert
From
Arenas.
an NBA All-Star?
Unbelievable.
I mean, I really did. When I was 8th grade, they were like my favorite basketball shoes. It was Adidas that he had.
Yeah.
With I had the blue and whites. That was my AAU team.
I was very impressed to see how dialed in he was to knowing how bullshit the media was and stuff like that. I'm interested to see how much of the league is really dialed into that or is indifferent. You know what I mean?
It is funny, too, the way, you see a clip from a podcast where he says the thing about Jokic, and you just run with it.
Right.
But when he puts it in perspective, I'm saying the worst.
Well thought out.
When there's how many 3-time MVPs? There's a handful, not even. So when you say the worst of those, it's not like he's saying he's trash. He's saying he's the worst of we say Jordan, LeBron, these guys. I mean, at Bird, sure.
Yeah.
But that's out of 6, whatever it is.
No,
6
dialed,
guys,
sharp guy. So hell of a way to end that. That's Healthy Debate for today. Enjoy the championship game. At 7:30 Eastern, we'll be streaming from the Barstool, from the DraftKings Sportsbook with the Barstool.
Yeah, we're doing a live
after
radio
Barstool
show.
Live, and then the stream into the night. So that's where we'll be. Thanks everybody for checking out Healthy Debate. Thank you to GIlbert Arenas, Agent Zero. Go check him out. Thank you to Big Ev. Enjoy the game tonight. Go Yukon.